Hi, welcome to a video podcast on working with PDF files. So that's either importing a PDF file or exporting a flip chart as a PDF format, which should make it easier for students to view at home if they don't have access to the Active Inspire software. First of all, I'm just going to show you how to import an exam paper. I think any subject where your students face an examination where they're expected to write actually onto the exam paper, this is a pretty useful feature. I've just saved a physics past paper onto my desktop, and all I need to do to bring that in is use the import function here, PDF. I just click on desktop there, and that's the past paper that I want to bring in. I click open, and it's asking me a few questions. I think it's as easy to bring the whole thing in, but you could choose to bring in less, and I'm going to work as a new flip chart. The one up here needs a little bit more attention. I found that if I use the original PDF size, the quality is not that good. So I think we need to set the width to at least the default screen width, which is 1024 pixels. If you still find the quality is not good enough, I have found that you can double that number. I used 2048 to give a much higher quality, but obviously at the expense of a much larger file. I think this will be adequate for most places. Just click the import button. It takes a few moments to process all 18 pages. Here we've got our exam paper. In terms of the zoom options, it's a good idea, I think. I'm just going to go out to full screen mode to go out to fit to width, and then you've got to use the scroll bar here to get up and down your exam paper. Let's turn to an actual question. You won't be able to judge the quality perfectly in the video. It's perfectly legible, but the writing is got a little bit of fuzz around the edge. Should you want to zoom in more, then you just need the magnifier tool here, or you can pick that up from up here, view, and yeah, that page zoom's already selected, but it's that option there, or keyboard shortcut Control Shift Z. Now, when you're working at the board, this does take a little bit moment to think about. To left click, you just hold the pen against the board, and then you can see that it will zoom in. You get a bit of a shock because initially nothing happens, and then it runs away with you. To make it back smaller again, to zoom out, you now need to right click. So if you're stood at the board, this involves hovering the pen just above the surface of the board and pressing the button on the pen, and again you need to hold it for a moment and then suddenly it will run away with you. But as I say, for most purposes probably the fit to width will work. Just going to go back onto the select tool, can scroll down to here, pick up a pen. You'll probably need quite a thin pen, and then you can start writing in your answer. And obviously my handwriting isn't great using the mouse, but let's just show you what the calculation would be for the first one. I'm not just doing this to show off, there's a purpose to this. There we go. And the nice thing here is that we're actually adding to the paper, and then that's fixed as part of it. If you were, particularly if you're doing a subject where there's a range of answers and there's some discussion, one of the nice things is that you could fill in the exam paper for each individual group, and then they'd have a record for themselves of the discussions that they'd had. And there's a couple of ways that you can preserve that record. The obvious one is just to do file and save, and that will give you a flip chart saved with your annotations in it. If you were finding that it was taking a long time to import your PDFs, of course you could previously at home or outside a lesson import your PDF files, save them as a flip chart, and then they'd probably open much more quickly. But probably more useful for students is to export as a PDF. Now I just need to pause here and make it really clear. The export as PDF function works for any flip chart. It doesn't have to have started out as a PDF exam paper. It's just a really useful way of making your stuff available to people who don't have access to our software. So particularly that would be through Blackboard and our virtual learning environment. Just going to stick this on the desktop, and we might call it the same name as that. Right, no, sorry, I just went completely wrong there. The way you export this is you click on the print. What I did was to try and import again, and then in the print dialog box, not admittedly the most obvious place to send it, is the export to PDF button there, and then it's just a matter of choosing a location for it. I'd quite like to put it on the desktop. There we go. Just called it, give it a simple name, complete past paper. I don't think there are any options here. And finally, what I'm going to do is just pick that up off the desktop. Here it is, and if I now double click that, it should open into the PDF reading software Acrobat. Now it's a bit of a weird thing here, and I have tried to overcome this. Although you've got a perfectly legible and usable document, and you can see there's my writing, but it does seem to have these wide borders, and again the quality has gone down a bit. If you wanted the best quality, then you need to import it as at least say 2000 pixels wide. I hope that's been clear. Sorry about forgetting how to export to PDF. Hope that didn't ruin your enjoyment too much. Thank you and goodbye.